I didn't want advice. I wanted the answer. I wanted the answer to make $1 million, right? Nobody wants advice on how we just want to make $1 million. Like I just want to make $1 million. I want a yacht. I want some bitches in the back dancing with bikinis. I want a fucking expensive penthouse apartment. But I don't want the answers to how I could make that possible. I just want it. And when people can't give you that answer, you're like, oh, fuck it, you're a fucking bum, or who the fuck are you? Your father left you some money. And I learned to take advice. I took advice from a few people along the way, you know what I'm saying? People I cared about, but come on, man, when you're fucking 20, you take advice, it goes in one and it goes out the fucking other even quicker, because we're know-it-alls. It's not you. It's not the guy that's watching. It's fucking me too. I thought I had the fucking answers, and we don't have the fucking answer. But something really weird happened. Like, I had awakening points along the way. You know, like, did I think I was a funny guy? Not like that. Not like when I saw a Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor movie. Not when I saw an Eddie Murphy movie. Not when I saw like a David Brenner special. Or when I first saw Eddie Murphy Delirious. Did I see myself as being funny like that? Not even fucking close. I didn't even see myself in a fucking movie. I didn't see myself in any of those fucking goddamn things. The first time somebody came up to me and said, have you considered stand-up comedy? I was 24 fucking years old. And I'm like, what did you just say? I wasn't too crazy about the guy either. When he first came up to me and told me, you know, you got your mind on other things. Like in those days, there was only two things I could have had my mind on. Drugs or more fucking drugs. You know, I mean, I was fucking a mental midget. And he pulled me aside like a man, you know. I was still a fucking kid. I was 24 going on 12. And he pulled me aside and he's like, hey, man, you know, I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know if you know what I did before I sold cars. I'm a retired entertainment director. And I'm like, you're going to hit me with this bullshit right now? Do I look like I even have the fucking stand-up comedy? What are you talking about? And then it took some time, and then I did the crime. And somebody else had told me. And between the time I was waiting to get sentenced, I used to go to a swim program in Boulder called the Master Swimming Program. The teacher's name was Jane. You had to be there at 6 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and you'd swim your fucking ass off. I figured I'd get in the swimming shape before I went to prison. So I dedicated myself to the Master Swimming Program. I went 3 times a week. And the guy who got me into it was a UPS guy that everybody was sucking his dick. I can't believe I wasn't even sucking his dick. You know those guys that just everybody sucks his dick? UPS guys get their dick sucked more than anybody. You understand me? They make Harvey Weinstein look like a fucking daycare. You don't get your package until they suck their dick. You know, people suck a dick for their package. I know UPS guys for years, and they'll tell you fucking horror stories about the sex they have on their fucking routes. And there was this UPS guy. I was working at Hertz, rent-a-car. And there was this UPS guy. I would see him pull his truck up. And he would be on that block for an hour just talking to bitches and shit. And then I would see him fucking, this is no lie, I would see him in the back of the truck taking his fucking wedding band out of his socks and putting it back on his finger. I'm like, that motherfucker's a savage. But as much as a savage as he was, we befriended one another. You know, I would say hello to him. I mean, that's the obvious thing to say. When somebody's walking into a building, you go, hello. So he would walk into the building, I'd go, hello. We started talking one day. He did have the body of a fucking a bodybuilder, and I asked him, what else do you do to get in shape? And he goes, number one thing is I left the weights alone. I started swimming. I go, fuck, maybe I should start swimming. So I would ride my bike there 3 days a week, and one day on a walk out, he looked at me, and and this is like, I'm a month away from getting sentenced. Like I'm waiting for the call. We're going through the process of community corrections and whatnot. And I'm a month away from getting sentenced. A month, maybe two away. Like there was also rumors they might push the case back to 1989 because of Vela. So I wasn't really focusing on it. And one day he said to me, he goes, "Hey man, have you ever thought about getting into stand-up comedy?" And I'm like, "What? Have you ever thought of becoming a comedian?" I'm like, "Not really." I mean, when people would come up to me with the thought of becoming a stand-up comic, I was like, stand-up comedy? I can't even not do coke 4 nights a week. I have no self-discipline. The only self-discipline I had was to lift weights and to ride a bike and to stay in shape. I was eating like an animal. I was just fucking lifting that many weights and riding that many bikes, and I was that fucking active. But it really wasn't until I got locked up. I had been put on check a couple times after my mother died, but not really. Nobody had really checked me. My uncle checked me in '84. We had a little misunderstanding in Los Angeles, and he checked me, and because of his check, I didn't talk to him for fucking 20 years. It was basically, we didn't talk from 1984 to 2009, till a couple months before I married my wife. So you think about that. That's how sensitive I used to be. If you'd say something to me, I just wouldn't fucking talk to you. Doesn't that sound familiar? When somebody says something to us that could empower us, we actually get mad at them as human beings. That's our natural fucking response. Fuck this guy, Who the fuck is he to say that to me? Even though he didn't call me out in front of people, he didn't say nothing to me in front of a bunch of people, he didn't hit me up on Facebook and try to embarrass you. These are men. These are people that would call you. Like mine and my uncle's argument was one-on-one. What he felt about how I was living and how I was raised was one-on-one. He was letting me know his fucking opinion. And I took it. I didn't like what he had to say, and I swore to fucking kill him. That's how retarded I was. That just to let you know how fucking sensitive we are when somebody calls us out for us to make us better. And then I had another guy. This guy called me out. He didn't call me out. He told me a fact.